We're going to start this recipe off by using 2 pounds of ground turkey. You can use ground beef if you would like, but I do have the alpha-gal syndrome and I have to use ground turkey. And because I'm using ground turkey, I'm going to put some Worcestershire sauce in this. This just helps give that ground turkey some flavor. If you're using ground beef, you don't have to put this in there, but if you want to, I put about 1/4 cup in this 2 pounds of ground turkey. Add 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Add 3/4 cup of unseasoned breadcrumbs, and I like to make my own, so that's what I'm using. Now let's mix this up. You can use your hands, but make sure they're very clean, or you can use gloves on your hands or a fork. Whichever way you want to do this, you do you. Now you can use a fresh onion, and sometimes I do, but I'm just going to use these onion flakes. I added 3 teaspoons of onion flakes. If you prefer to use a fresh onion, then I would add half of a yellow onion diced to this instead of the onion flakes. Now we're just going to mix those onion flakes into this. You will need a large skillet. I did double my recipe. You could cut this recipe in half and just use about a 10-inch iron skillet, which is typically what I do, but I had company coming, so I doubled the recipe. You will need some olive oil, or you could even use canola oil, but I used olive oil, and I added about 4 tablespoons of olive oil to that skillet. Turn my stovetop eye on to medium to high and let that oil get hot. While that oil is heating up, you will need about 1/2 cup of self-rising flour. Just put that on a plate, and we are going to pat out our patties just like this. Now you'll see me curving my hand around that patty. That really creates a much prettier patty. And then once you've got your burger patted out, we are going to just dredge it in this flour. Drop that right into that hot oil, and you can test that oil by just putting a little drop of water in it, or maybe just a little flour, and you can tell that it's hot. It will start popping, and just be careful with that. Then go ahead and turn your stovetop eye or your burner down to medium to low, and we are going to brown these patties on each side, and that takes approximately up to 10 minutes on each side. I like to make sure mine is well done. You can use a thermometer if you like. I've just been doing this for a long time, so I did not time this, but make sure they're done. But keep in mind, we are going to add some other things to this, so they are going to continue to cook. You may need to add a little bit more olive oil or canola oil, whichever you're using to this. Then we are going to add some salt and pepper to taste. Once those patties are nice and brown on each side, you can put a lid on it just like I'm doing. I have a little steamer hole on my lid, so that helps to let the steam out. But that just kind of ensures that they cook and they're nice and moist. And while you're doing that, you can go ahead and gather your supplies, and we are going to need 2 cans of cream of mushroom. We're just going to throw that right in the pan. Add 1 cup of sour cream to this. And you can mix these 2 ingredients in a separate bowl if you would like, but I just did not want to dirty up another dish. You can blend this together right in that skillet. Now I like pepper, lots and lots of pepper. If you've been following me, you know I do. So I'm adding more pepper to this. Let's put a lid on this, turn that stovetop eye down to simmer, and we're going to let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. After about 10 to 15 minutes, we are going to garnish this with some parsley. Parsley really doesn't have a lot of flavor in my opinion, so it makes a nice garnish for a lot of dishes, and this is one of them. And then after you garnish it, voila, This is ready to be served. And y'all, this is so delicious. And you're going to want to make you some mashed potatoes on the side because that gravy is so good on top of those mashed potatoes. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and y'all be good.